Good day everyone. Today we will be presenting our proposal towards achieving ISO 15189 laboratory accreditation. Throughout this proposal, we will be going through the meaning, benefit, expected outcome, cost implication, and roadmap towards achieving this accreditation. Accreditation is a confirmation of competence of a testing or calibration laboratory by the accredited body that provides national or international standards. It verifies that laboratory have an appropriate quality management system and can properly perform certain tests and calibration parameters according to their scopes of accreditation. What is ISO 15189? ISO 15189 provides requirements relevant to quality management and competence in medical laboratories. It is the gold standard for certifying medical laboratories as it covers both management and technical requirements needed for assessing the competence of the personnel. What are the benefits of obtaining ISO 15189 for our laboratory? It promotes the laboratory efficiency and responsibility for better results and service delivery, and promotes the development of an international reputable image for your organization. It enhances the consumer confidence through problem solving and ultimately promotes the growth of customer satisfaction. Now we will move on to the expected outcome. This will be categorized into three parts: profit, short-term return on investment or short-term ROI, and long-term ROI. The profit of our laboratory will increase about 1.2% in the first year of accreditation compared to before. Then, the profit of the second year of accreditation will increase about 1.4% compared to the first year. The first short-term ROI is improvement in quality of services. After the accreditation, accuracy, consistency, and reliability of results increases every time the test is conducted. There will be an average reduction to 33% of the pre-accreditation error rate, such as unrequired sample collection, patient identification error, and sample recollection. The accreditation will also allow laboratories to demonstrate high standards of service delivery. The benchmark of performance will be established by ensuring all the laboratory tests are accurate and reliable through regular assessment. Hence, error will be identified and corrected. Next, staff effectiveness will increase after the accreditation. Staff are able to perform their job more effectively since their skills have been improved from the staff training. Policy Update provides staff with the latest version of documentation, thus staff will be able to apply newly regulated safety steps. Other than that, accreditation will also strengthen the cooperation and motivation in all staff by promoting trust, communication, and confidence among them. This in turn ensures continuous optimization from staff and may boost staff performance. The last one is cost reduction. There will be a saving of nearly 160,000 ringgit per year because of the implementation of a more effective communication process between procurement and laboratory. Other than that, reduction in loss of reagents due to expiration or repeat sample testing and need for supervision with supportive funding while focusing on other areas that need more attention are also the reason that costs decrease in cost. Now let's talk about the long-term return on investment. To start, it is important to understand that the suggested duration of long-term ROI is between 3 to 5 years, and the point stated in the short-term ROI still applies over here. However, the most significant ROI outcome here is international branding. Through accreditation, a uniform approach of branding can be created. This is because the company would now receive an increase of customer satisfaction to the point where it would influence others in a good way to adopt the ISO 15189 accreditation. In the long run, when establishment interacts, agreements can be reached based on mutual evaluation, and the acceptance of data as well as goods can be imported or exported across national borders. This eventually could provide a competitive advantage as a marketing opportunity. Some of you might wonder, how exactly do we apply for ISO 15189? How long will the process take, and how many steps are required to obtain this accreditation? To be precise, there are three main steps in this process: preparation, application, and surveillance. Let's look into a realistic roadmap of the plan which can allow you to understand the time taken and the steps required. We plan on starting the preparation in October 2020 after getting approval from the higher management. For 4 months, staff training and internal auditor training for the ISO 15189 will take place, and in the last 3 months, an internal audit can be conducted along with a strategic GAP analysis and proficiency testing. This is to determine whether all requirements are met and what steps can be taken to ensure that they are met successfully. In February 2021, the application process begins after the application form, along with supporting documents, are submitted to Standards Malaysia. The next 3 steps will be done by the accreditation body, which is the adequacy audit, pre-assessment, and compliance assessment. The adequacy audit, which is an off-site documentation review, will be done within a month. Pre-assessment will be done about 2 times on site within about 2 months. Lastly, compliance assessment is the final audit, which will also be done on site by Standards Malaysia inspectors. Then, the assessment report will be reviewed by LAEP. After roughly 2 months, in August 2021, we will be rewarded with accreditation for a period of 3 years. Yearly surveillance assessment will be conducted by Standards Malaysia to keep track of the competency and quality of practice. The first surveillance is scheduled 9 months from the date of accreditation, and the second surveillance is scheduled 12 months from the date of the first surveillance. Reassessment is scheduled 3 months before the expiry date of accreditation. Therefore, surveillance assessment will be held in the month of May in 2022, 2023, and 2024. Moving on to resources, we will be looking into the task force and various training required. As for the needed task force, the main personnel required in a workforce is a team leader to lead and inspect other lab staff and the resources needed to run a laboratory. It is important to have one lead assessor who is qualified to independently perform assessment of the integrity and efficiency of the management system, to lead assessments, and to coordinate the work of the assessor team during assessment of the lab and staff. There also need to be 2 technical assessors qualified to independently perform assessment in the required field of accreditation to carry out evaluations of the technical requirement. Lastly, it is necessary to have around 10 laboratory staff to carry out various tasks at the laboratory. As for the training required, MACB training is crucial for the staff of medical laboratories already accredited and those undergoing the accreditation exercise to understand ISO 15189. It is also important to conduct and for the staff to participate in external and internal laboratory programs for lab operators to improve their ability to work in accredited labs. Secondly, to ensure that the staff and lab is updated with latest information and technologies. Accredited laboratories are also required to participate in available intra-laboratory comparison program or other forms of comparison testing, such as the Proficiency Testing Program by APLAC. Let's continue with cost implications. There are 5 categories, which are application, assessment, proficiency test, equipment upgrade, and staff training. The application costs 2,000 ringgit. For assessment fees, as stated in resources, 1 team inspector and 2 technical inspectors will be invited. Hence, 1,600 ringgit per day will be charged. A total of 5 tests with 2 days required for each test, the assessment fee required is 26,000 ringgit. The proficiency test including the lab materials costs 1,300 ringgit. The equipment upgrade for biochemistry analyzer estimated cost is 20,000 ringgit. Staff training costs 2,900 ringgit. Out of 10 lab staffs, 7 are experienced and 3 are inexperienced. The 3 inexperienced staff will be sent for internal and external training program. 3 representatives will be sent for the MACB ISO 15189 program. Total cost for the accreditation process is 52,200 ringgit.